It's the Ken Bailey Show, where we're talking the walk and featuring Mikey the Mime. Here's Ken and Mikey.
All right, it is the Ken Bailey Show, and I'm your host, Ken Bailey, along with my co-host, Mikey the Mime, radio's only classically trained mime. And I'm glad to... What do you got behind your back, dude? Let me see it. Come on. Oh, great. This is Mike. He's not miming. He's actually handing me his new CD, which is entitled Silence is Golden. If you haven't gotten one of Mikey's CDs before, I really encourage you to check it out. One of the ways that I utilize Mikey's CDs, along with just the entertainment value, is if I'm having trouble getting to sleep, I'll pop in one of his CDs, and I'm sure this is the best yet to do it with. And I just drift right off to sleep. It's an incredible sleep aid. So, and it's a great gift for anybody that you know of that's having trouble sleeping. And well, here, let me. We'll take a cut from the title track of Silence is Golden. Here's Mikey the Mime with Silence is Golden. Okay, I don't want to play too much of it because you could just simply record it and not get your own CD, which I know you'd love. It's quite a bit before Christmas, but I can't think of a better Christmas gift even now than Mikey the Mime's new album, Silence is Golden. What's the retail price on this, Mikey? $14.95. Okay, is that right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's only $14.95 and worth every penny. No inflation here. Mikey's CDs have been $14.95 for a while. But for listeners to the broadcast, Mikey and I actually talked this out before he received the new CD, and we'd already pre-decided that if you go to thekenbaileyshow.com and scroll down, you'll see the cover, the CD cover of Silence is Golden. And for the next 3,000 people that go to the website and click on that, you can download a free copy of Mikey's CD, Silence is Golden. And you can also, I believe you can go there and direct it as a gift to other folks who could really use this respite in a time when noise is so prevalent in our lives. There's so much noise out there. To just pop in this CD, lay back, and just kind of drift off with Mikey taking you on this incredible journey. I think you'll really enjoy it. And you're going to enjoy the rest of the show today because we have a great friend of the show, Kimberly Carlisle from the Hollywood Prayer Network. And we're going to be giving her a call just any minute, and she's going to tell us about her great trip to Hollywood with the Hollywood Prayer Network. Kim is the chapter director at San Antonio, and she went on this adventure to Hollywood, and she'll be sharing that adventure with us right after this. But before Mikey gets Kim on the line, I wanted you to hear this little short 1-minute piece from Karen Covell. Karen and her husband were the two that started the Hollywood Prayer Network a few years back, and in this little piece, she'll be telling you a little bit about the history and the mission of Hollywood Prayer Network. So here's Karen Covell.
I'm Karen Covell, a producer and the founding director of the Hollywood Prayer Network. Hollywood Prayer Network was launched in 2001 after realizing that Hollywood entertainment industry is a mission field, and Christians can get involved in impacting this mission field through prayer. We mobilize prayer around the world for the people, the projects, and the issues of entertainment executives, professionals, and creative community. And through those prayers, God is invited in to change hearts, to change content, to change lives. And the lives changed in Hollywood will change the world. And as a result of the prayers of Christians all over the world, we're seeing a growing community of people in Hollywood, Christians committed to their faith, coming in here as missionaries, marketplace ministers, working as professionals, ministering to the people around them, praying with each other, and watching God do miraculous works.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just great. Excited about what we're going to hear today.
I hope I don't let you down.
Oh, please. Of course you won't. Yeah. I saw a picture online of what I guess was your entire group.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. It's a pretty diverse group.
Yeah, it was. It was really an amazing group, actually.
Well, great. Take us along.
Well, I mean, we got there and we had just kind of a meet and greet kind of meeting on the first night. And before the weekend was over, there were 60 local chapter directors there from 9 different countries,
wow.
which was pretty amazing. And and like you said, it was a diverse group. It was people from all ages, all races, men and women, all different ways of life, different parts of the world, and various denominations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all attended different churches, and so, but we were all there, you know, with this like common purpose. We were there because we want to pray for Hollywood and the global entertainment industry. And we were there to praise and worship Jesus for all the work that he's doing there, which is kind of amazing work that's being done there. So,
and you also now the founders of the Hollywood Prayer Network also met with you some of the time, right?
Yeah, well, they were there all the time. They were.
Okay.
Yeah, they were really behind this whole. You know, they kind of put the whole thing together. They organized it. They took good care of us. They fed us great food. They arranged for us to do some fun things, which I'll tell you a little bit about. But it was great. They were there the whole time, and they're just amazing. And that's Jim and Karen Koval.
Mm-hmm.
And they, one of the other local chapter directors said they're the mom and dad of Hollywood, and they really are. Like that's how they come across. They are just there to take care of people in Hollywood, and Christians. They're there to take care of the Christians in Hollywood, but those who are lost too, you know, they feel like Hollywood is their mission field. So
that's great. Had you met them before?
I had met Karen on a Zoom meeting when I became a local chapter director. I don't know if she interviews everybody, but she interviewed me. And she and I have passed emails on occasion, but no, I had not met them in person.
Fantastic. So the first night you have a meet and greet, and then I'm sure there's a lot of energy in the room that everybody's excited about what's in front of them. What was the next day like?
Well, the next day, we were meeting. So we were staying in a hotel in Hollywood. We were meeting at the First Presbyterian Church in Hollywood, and which has a whole lot of history behind it, which was really interesting. And it's an amazing campus right in the middle of Hollywood, and it's a pretty big campus, and they have 2 theaters at the First Presbyterian Church.
Wow.
They support a lot of ministries in Hollywood, like the Hollywood Prayer Network, and they had a lady who was a member there back in, I might get the dates wrong, but it was, I believe, the 1930s into the 40s. Who really was kind of key behind starting up the Presbyterian Sunday School movement there in Hollywood. And then also, they were telling us that she was responsible, or, well, one of many probably, but in a big way responsible for Billy Graham's Los Angeles Crusade in 1949, which is what really kicked off his career as an evangelist, which that was pretty interesting too.
Yeah,
so that was just kind of a fun little side history there. But yeah, so then that day we learned a little bit about the church, and we heard from Craig Detweiler, and he is heading up the film program at Grand Canyon University. And apparently has worked at a lot of other universities and worked in Hollywood. And he just shared a little bit with us about really looking at the whole industry a little bit differently. One of the things that he said that really stuck with me was that there's always something good in movies and television. Like even in a show that you wouldn't think is good, you can always find something good. You can always find God there. And so that was really interesting. And he said, one of the examples he gave was that he had a student come to him once and say he wanted to make horror films, and he was like, "Why? Why would you want to make horror films?"
Right.
And yet this student of his, kind of went with it and was able to do a lot with it. And something that I think Karen Covell said later, or maybe it was one of our volunteers, I don't remember exactly, but they were saying, you can do a lot with horror films because they're kind of inherently spiritual. And so when you bring the Bible into a horror film, nobody goes, "Why is the Bible there?" It just seems like it's natural to be there. And so they were saying you can really bring the scripture in, you can bring God into a horror film in a way that you can't with other films, which that's so interesting and not something I ever would have thought of.
Yeah, me either. Yeah. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So Craig spoke for a while, and then
and then we did a couple of fun things, like I said, while we were there. And one of the things that we did was we went on a kind of walking tour of downtown Hollywood. And the lady, she does Hollywood walking tours, and she does just regular tours for tourists, but then she also, by referral, does a Christian tour of downtown Hollywood. And so we got the Christian tour.
Right.
And where she talked a little bit about the Christian foundations of Hollywood, that there was a Christian couple who kind of had that property, and it became a suburb of Los Angeles. And then they were giving pieces of the property away to churches to open their doors. And then she told us a little bit about how the movie industry actually ended up in Hollywood. And I won't take the long route, but let me see if I can sum it up. But basically, a producer came to film a movie out there. Most movies were being made. This was silent movie era, right? Most movies were being made in New York and New Jersey, but they would have all these weather delays, and so he comes to California to film this particular show, and it was way under budget, and they got it done very quickly because the weather was always good. And so, he wanted to move a studio out there, and he met up against a lot of people who are like, "No, we don't want you here in movies, go." And so we talked a little bit about that. But then one thing that she shared with us that was really kind of cool is, I don't know if you've ever been to Hollywood, but you've seen the Hollywood sign, right, on movies and television. And on the same little hill where the Hollywood sign is, if you are looking at the Hollywood sign and you look off to the left, there's a cross on top of the hill. Okay. And she shared with us the history of that cross, and it was really amazing. And it's called the Cahuenga Cross because that's the name of the road that it's on. And but that cross has been there since the 1920s. And it's gone through a variety of, it's had a history. Let's just put it that way. Right. I was looking at an article about it earlier today, and the article said it's been ripped by fire, rattled by high winds and earthquakes, attacked by vandals, lawyers, and even by Nazis. So if that tells you a little bit about it. Wow. So, yeah.
And it's still standing, huh?
It's still standing, and they light it up every night.
Oh, my word.
And so when you're driving through Hollywood at night, you're going to see this illuminated cross up on top of a hill overlooking the whole
I love that.
City of Hollywood. Yeah, it's just an amazing thing.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm already saged here. What's next?
Well, then
how long was the walking tour?
It was probably about an hour.
Okay.
And and she just pointed out some highlights of the downtown area to us. We were walking along the Hollywood Walk of Fame, or at least a portion of it's pretty big. So, and yeah, it was a great little tour, and she put the Christian spin on it. So it was very fascinating that the foundations of Hollywood, God put Hollywood together. And, with all of the problems that we see in Hollywood today, you got to remember that those foundations are there. So then that evening, they treated us to a really fun thing. We got to go to a movie screening of a movie that has not been released yet. It is an Amazon Studios movie, and I am allowed to share the name of it. It's called A Million Miles Away, and it will be out in September. And I recommend everybody go see it. It's a really good movie.
Good.
A feel good kind of movie.
Okay,
which,
great.
Those are always fun.
A Million Miles Away.
Yeah, so that was fun, getting to screen a movie. And one of the things that the Covels told us was, when we go see this movie, we're going to watch the movie, the credits are going to roll, and we're going to sit and watch the credits roll. And they said, this is not a list of credits. It's not just the people who worked on this movie. This is your prayer list tonight.
Ah, how great. Oh, wow.
And
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right.
So that was awesome too, just kind of sitting there. So my husband always likes to stay for the credits, so I'm familiar with kind of sitting through the credits. But my friend sitting next to me, she leaned over and she said, "I never sit through the credits. Are there always this many people working on a movie?" I said, "Yes, yes, there are." Right.
Yeah, we always try to stay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now you can think of it as your prayer list.
I love that. That's so cool. So did you, now you've been here, this is your second night, and were you having at this time, were you having any interactions with your fellow travelers on this journey?
Yeah, we were really from the get-go. We got kind of all connected, and I did meet some great people there. And it was fun just to talk to them and to realize. So, when you first had me on, I was like, I'm really not a great chapter director. I don't feel like I do enough for this ministry. And it was interesting to talk to others who felt the same. Like, it's a struggle. And a lot of times, you go to a pastor and say, hey, I'm serving in this ministry where we pray for Hollywood. And sometimes pastors are like, well, I don't know about that or whatever. And so it was good to see that. And good is maybe not the right word, but it was comforting, I guess, to know that it wasn't just me that was struggling with all of this. And on our last day, I think it was one of the staff members that works alongside the Covels. She said, we've heard from a lot of you this weekend that you don't feel like you're good at being chapter directors. But she said, if you are praying for this ministry, you're a good chapter director. And so that was good to hear too.
Yeah, of course.
I can do that.
Yeah. And
I've got that.
And I believe that to my toes. Obviously that's the thing. They've got at least 65 people doing that. And they know each one of you guys have influences, and that's so good. Yeah. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good.
Was there a moment when the wheels fell off or anything? Like, did your luggage arrive with you? Any kind of
Yeah, no, actually everything was really very good.
Great.
I did have an Uber ride that the driver didn't turn the air conditioning on. And, at first they kept telling me the weather was really hot. I was like, I'm from South Texas. It's it's not going to be hot. It's like 83 degrees. But, but after about an hour in the Uber, I was like, it is a little warm. Can we? But aside from that, no suffering on this trip. I was very well taken care of.
That's great. I'm so happy. How did the Covels leave you at the end? What did they give you a wave or a prayer? Did y'all?
Yeah, they definitely did. They the Saturday morning was really about them praying for us, and so that was nice, and kind of giving us some training and some suggestions and some ideas about how to maybe do a little bit better at this job. So,
was there one piece of advice that really you kind of held on to, or thought, yeah, I can do that, or I want to do that?
Well, yeah, I think just the idea about just, when all else fails, be praying for the ministry, be praying for the other local chapter directors, that if I'm failing, that somebody else is succeeding, and maybe it's those prayers of mine that are kind of helping them to be emboldened to do what they're doing.
That's so good.
And,
yeah,
and to kind of support each other a little bit more, I think. So,
will y'all meet again?
So I would guess that they're going to do this again in the future. We do have, and I don't always get on them, but we do have a prayer call every week on Friday. I don't always get to hop on because of work, but,
Sure.
That happens. And then once a month, there is just kind of a meeting of the local chapter directors on Zoom. These are Zoom meetings, but where we can come and, ask questions or just be encouraged. So,
but those are going to be
definitely.
so much richer because you will see faces that you've known personally on this tour, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That's
But yeah, Jim and Karen did share a little bit about their testimony and how the Hollywood Prayer Network got started on the third day that we were there. And like I said, they consider themselves to be missionaries to Hollywood. And really, everybody that I met who lived in Hollywood, all the volunteers helping us out and things, they had this theme where they were called to live in LA. Sometimes those of us, especially in Texas, we like to go, why would anybody live in California? But they feel as though they were called there, and it's their mission field. And so, that really puts a new perspective on that.
Did you look up at any of these and George Clooney was sitting next to you, or any? And did you see any
No.
known stars or anything while you were out there?
So we had after Jim and Karen talked to us on that Friday, we had a panel of industry insiders. And it was three of them. One is an Academy Award winning producer.
Wow.
The other was an actress, and then we had a man who is a animator and a writer. And they're all Christians, and they were just talking to us about what it's like to be a Christian in Hollywood, to be a Christian in that business, in the day-to-day of the business. And that was really great. Now, the actress, I had to look her up. Her name was familiar, but I had to look her up. But she has been on a lot of TV shows. And she shared a lot about just being on the set and being somebody who's very bold to talk about God and having people approach her and say, hey, I heard you talking about God. I have some questions, or, my life is really horrible and I don't see God working. How can you believe in God? And, these open doors for her to really share. One story specifically that she shared was that she was offered a role on a show that wasn't very glorifying to God, right? And so she was praying, I don't know if I should do this, God. I don't know, why you would want me to be on a show like this. And she said she just really felt like God was saying to her that it wasn't about her and that somebody was waiting to hear from her. And so the first day on the set, somebody showed up at her door and said, hey, I heard you talking about God and I want to talk to you.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, God is using people there.
So horror movies and shows that you might not think you should participate in are all vehicles that God's using. That's
absolutely.
That is so encouraging to hear. I just love that. The film that you saw, the Million Miles Away, is that going to be theatrically released, or is it just going to be on streaming?
I am unclear about that. I have a feeling that it's just going to be on streaming, but I can't say that for sure.
Because I was wondering if you knew if it was coming to San Antonio. That would be kind of fun if you already were aware of the project. But great, all right. Well, I know there's a lot of fun. Hey, do you think we could get the Covels on someday on a call with you?
I am pretty sure that we could.
Okay.
So
well, let's put that in our wish list, our prayer list. That when the time is right, maybe we can, and maybe something's going on that they would like to discuss with us. Now that you have this experience with them personally, I think that would be fun. Obviously, if you're okay with that, I don't want to
absolutely.
push you into anything you don't want to. Well,
they're amazing.
So, what was the first thing your husband asked you when you got home?
Oh wow! I got in the car. I got in kind of late Saturday night, and I got in the car and I just started talking, which I don't usually do when
Really?
I'm tired. I'm kind of like, and so he didn't really have a chance to ask anything. I just told him all of it.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you were so energized and excited about what is just a terrific thing, and all the encouragement I'm hearing you hear from the Covells and your other chapter directors and things, that just hearing that we're all giving it our best shot. That's kind of what Mikey and I are doing here, right, Mikey? We just kind of, some days we think we're alone here, and but it's just I'm so pleased as always that you've come alongside to be a part of us, and we've been waiting to hear. Mikey and I were just talking about how excited, we weren't talking about it, but he was acting out a little thing that he was trying to share with me, how excited he was to hear from you today. So, and it's been just as maybe better, right, Mikey? Yeah, even better than we were hoping for, because it's just great to hear all that. That's so exciting and encouraging, and with the Jesus Revolution and Sound of Freedom and all those things that are out there and things that are coming, it's I kind of feel overwhelmed by the entertainment industry, and feel like that they're winning or that the dark is winning over the light. But light always. My dad was a still photographer, and he had a dark room, and I grew up, and they had this sign on the outside of the dark room that said, "Don't open the door, or you might let the dark out." And as a little kid, I thought that was so funny, because dark doesn't come into a room and make it darker. Light goes into the dark room, it was just right there for me. So the fact that that a projector has all that light that slams up against that screen from folks in Hollywood that have worked on it, and just it doesn't take a whole lot of leaven to make that project something that can encourage folks, or even see God in it where you wouldn't even think you would see God in something, So you're so right to lead out and praying for that the entertainment industry. I so appreciate your efforts in doing that, and then sharing with us about it. So.
Oh, of course. I will share one more thing. You asked about George Clooney, and no, I didn't get to see him, but we did a prayer walk at Friday afternoon at Warner Brothers Studios. Just kind of walked and prayed, and I did pray over George Clooney's parking spot.
Oh my goodness! How funny! I had no idea. That's I don't know how many degrees of separation that is, but from asphalt to Clooney, I don't know. That's fantastic. It'd be fun to hear if his car is doing okay now or something.
That's right.
That's wonderful. Well, Kim, thanks so much for sharing with us about this trip, and we look forward to talking to you again about other things that's going on. Anything fresh in San Antonio? All the kids are going back to school, and lots of stuff going on. But
yes, lots going on. Yeah. Nothing new at the moment, but I am planning to plan a event for the Hollywood Prayer Network, so I'll keep you posted on that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we want to know. And tell us one more time how folks can check out the website.
Yes, you can go to HollywoodPrayerNetwork.org and sign up to get their call sheet and pray for the ministry.
That's great. All right. God bless you and your little ministry. Not little. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make it little ministry. Your big old ministry and all the stuff that you've shared with us. You've given us so many things to pray for, and we just appreciate it, including Kim Carlisle. You need to pray for her too, because every day we all need that prayer, right, Kim?
Yes.
All
absolutely.
right. Mikey says Mikey's waving bye, and
all right.
Okay. Take care. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to keep it a little quiet for now. Mikey's over here on his knees praying, which is a great picture. And obviously he was inspired by things that God's doing in Hollywood. So we're going to get out of here now and amen. All right, Mikey. All right. Okay. Mikey's back with us here, and we just wanted together remind you what we said and what those folks in Hollywood are acting out to let your light so shine before men and women that they may see your good works, and that ultimately our Father in heaven is glorified. Thanks for being a part of the Ken Bailey Show featuring Mikey the Mime and Kim Carlisle tonight. Oh, and yeah, Mikey's holding up his CD. Don't forget to go to thekenbaileyshow.com and get your while they last. There's only 3,000. The first 3,000 people get a free one. And Mikey, how are we doing on that? Did you look up the stats? 600 or 60? Oh, 6. Okay. Well, 6 people out of the 3,000 have already taken advantage of getting their free CD. And who knows, we may get up to 8 or 9. But while they last, be sure and go to thekenbaileyshow.com and scroll down and get Silence is Golden, Mikey the Mime's latest CD. You guys enjoy the silence after we're away. and I hope any noise in your life is joyful. Take care. We'll see you. Bye-bye.